Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to today's new episode on the American map series in FS25. So in this episode today, what we're going to do is we brought this plow on the last episode at the beginning of the last episode, or this cultivator I guess is what it is. So we're going to cultivate this field in. I can hear the other farmers being mad at me, saying, "Why are you cultivating this? Why are you cultivating this? And you know this is a perfectly good long grated rice field, and you should use it, and get your stuff together." But we've already run into a snag, so the cultivator requires so much horsepower, and I don't have it on this tractor, so I need to go back to the main farm, or the farm that you would get when you're playing this for the first time, new farmer mode. You would get all those machines down on fields 44, 45, 46, 49 with the farm there originally, with all those different machines, and that's where we're taking the different equipment from, is those areas. But I want to start, let me go back. So the reason why I'm going to cultivate the long grain rice in field 29 is because part of it's still going to be a field, and then part of it's going to be kind of like my farm area. So I'm going to run a simple farm in the beginning. So I'm going to do I'm probably going to have a house, probably a machine shed, and then I'm going to run probably and then I'm going to probably put a silo. And then additionally, I might buy, when I get a little bit more income, I might buy field 28 or 26 maybe next. And I might buy field 26, and I may turn that into more of a maybe put a production there on field 28, and then put some get like a livestock operation going. So maybe chickens, cows, pigs, sheep, horses, maybe the whole lot, maybe the whole shebang. I don't know. But yeah, so we're gonna put him over here. Not going to wait. You know what? Let's grab him. Let's look up on that weight. Yeah, this is a big boy. I talked to the grandpa that runs this farm, Ben, and he told me he's okay with me using these fields. He's gonna sell the farm anyway. He told me he would sell the farm to me, and but he wants me to work on it, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to move up all the way down, straight up, use this tractor, finished plowing. Even though technically they say it's cultivating, but I think it's a plow. It's a plow slash cultivator. So. And I did turn off field stones right now because I'll enable field stones a little later when I have when I get the things required, like more money to buy the field fin outright. But until I have that money to do that, I'm going to keep field stones off. But everything else should be on. Weeds are enabled. Still kind of heavy. We're only pushing 5 miles an hour. Still a little bit heavier. Yeah, this is going to be slow and painful to watch. I apologize. Alright, so okay, we need to make a turn here. So, I also will let you know that I am a guitarist and a musician and a vocalist, and so I didn't do a video last night because I had a gig for the because the Super Bowl was yesterday. Or yeah, last night, and I think Seattle won, if I remember correctly. We're not gonna be able to get in there unless we find a smaller implement that we can use. We can maybe patch it in and maybe throw some bushes in there. Maybe make it look like a get the area overgrown with some bushes maybe. This is going to be a very interesting series. I'm going to let you know straight up. So at this point, I'm not gonna worry about trying to grow the YouTube channel because I've had this YouTube channel since 2012, and Right now I'm only sitting on 85 subscribers, and my subscriber count isn't rising up anymore. So I'm not going to worry about making money on it. So I'll do a video when I want to on the channel, and that will just be how it's going to be. So but hopefully today in this episode we'll get the field cultivated. And we could remove some of those trees. We don't need that many trees, and we could strip it out, make it bare, and then we could maybe paint it over with some gravel or something like that, so we can start, so we can make the next part for a shed, for a vehicle shed. In fact, I may do that now, actually. I'm thinking about it. Let's see, customize options, right? So, let's go, obstruction, I think, okay, well, it's not working. I do not know. Let's see here. It was right here, right? I think. Did decoration, right? I think it did decoration. You know what? I want to go into cell mode. So we're going to cell mode. Let's get rid of these. Oh, enter demolition mode, yeah. No, I don't want to remove the whole ice filter. Can we not? Okay. Can we not sell these off anymore? Got it. Okay, well. Oh, damn. Yeah, painting. You know what? Let's just make it flat. Let's go light dark. Let's go light dark here. There we go. Alright, so we got some dirt going there. We'll work on cultivating now. Plowing up. So now we got 2,000 some income, so we're not making much for money. So we spent a little bit of money on another fin of bushes, which I might have to add some more bushes off screen. But I probably want to take that whole entire section and put some dirt down so I can place like the shed and like the silo. We're terraforming the field, but we're terraforming the field for a reason. So that's why we're doing that. So, all right. So we're gonna finish off this piece right here. Gonna go slow going. All right, 3. Oh, it is a rice field. You can see that little pin right there. That's how I knew it was a rice field. Whoops. I mean, we'll redo this crop eventually later on when I have like a rice field implementation stuff to be able to do. But for the American Map series, I'm trying to do stuff where I need to build my own, kind of like where I need to build my own farm and do more of that, because I typically play standard style play, which basically means that you start with new farmer or farm manager and you pick the field, and you pick the field that already has a farm on it, and then you just enjoy the game that way. But I'm trying to make it so it's a little bit more challenging for me in this American Map series. It's what I'm intending to do. And it's kind of like the direction that I'm leading in on the on this playthrough. So and I'm gonna try to do a thing where I run a Star Rupture playthrough series on the channel. Star Rupture is one of the new games that I recently got from Creepy Jar. They're the guys that make the game Green Hell. And what I'm going to try to do is I have this, so Star Rupture goes out I basically decide every 3 days for the playlist the Star Rupture game goes out a week. But that means, so like, I did one that came out on Monday. So the next Star Rupture video would come out if I follow the 3-day thing, which I might just switch the Star Rupture series to maybe 1 day a week, so I can focus on other games as well. And then, but Star Rupture, But then usually what would follow is the American Map series for Farm Simulator would come out the next would come out basically the next day after the Star Rusher series. And then I think I've kicked back in the Medieval Dynasty gameplay that I'm doing, so I want to make that game another priority. So I want to maybe think about putting out the Medieval Dynasty game on the next day after the American Map series Farm Simulator gets done. So that would be Wednesday, but I can only do it on Wednesdays that don't work. And I've also started to improve my vocal range. I've started doing I'm gonna start implementing running for half a mile for 3 days a week. So if today's Monday, I need to get out for a run a little later, and then I want to implement on so I gotta go for a run today, and then I need to do a little bit of guitar practice a little later. And then I think the plan is this evening I'm going to reach out to my friend Colin and see if we can maybe do a live stream on the Halo 3 campaign. So alright, so now we're making some headway. We did a lap in straight across to avoid that rice field thing. I think another American map dropped, if I remember correctly. I think it might be the American Midwest. So which means if we're following it in chronological order, that would mean the American Midwest map would be the first one that I had to do. But at the time it wasn't out. The first American map that I saw, and it started with an A, was the Arkansas of Americana, so I chose this one. And but after we do the Arkansas of Americana map, or American, not Americana, American, we would do the American Midwest map. And I think that map has had an update. So I think it's a map. It may not be a map. It might be a show pack or something. I don't know. Alright. Now, I don't know how long this episode, video recording wise, will be. It might be an hour. I've been doing what seems like hour-long gameplays most recently, so but I am gonna start. I need to go for a run this morning, so I'm gonna probably start running at 11:30. So no matter where we're at with the recording, I'm gonna shut it off, or I'm gonna end the recording at probably 11:15 actually, and then I'm gonna give it a fancy tile real quick, and then I'm gonna go for my run. Oh yeah, well, we'll be done with this field here pretty soon, plowed wise, and then we'll add a little bit more. We get the shed in there. We'll add a little bit more on the painter wise, and then we'll throw down a shed and a silo, and hey, well, you know it's raining. Yeah, we'll add a shed down, and then we'll get a silo down, but the silo is going to require some income, so what we need to do is we're gonna just have to, when we plant our first crop and it matures and is ready to harvest, we'll have to bring the combine over from Uncle Ben's farm, or from Ben's farm, and then we'll just have to harvest it, put it in a trailer, and just sell it right away, so that we get some sort of income coming in. So we're making a little money, and we can do another contract, you know, every other episode. We can do a contract around for different farmers and make some income that way too. So I could look for a plowing contract if I want to, since I have a plow. So I mean, I'm only using the tractor, so I don't have to borrow any equipment. Those baling contracts are fun though. I could always look for another baling contract. I'll just bail up a field. Don't pick up the bales. Once you're done with the field, you get the money. So that was fun. I should probably also do the field to role play series as well. So that would be good. People seem to have enjoyed that series. It just requires me to sit down one day and run a little script for the series, you know. Alright, so we're at the stage where we probably need to do a little bit more painting to try to get a little bit more of a little dirt. Stage happening here. Yeah, I feel like that's necessary. I might kill this piece right here. There we go. Alright, let's go into construction, painting, dirt. It's $2. Okay, so probably not going to be able to do a lot. We can get the whole entire thing, we'll do the whole entire thing, but you know what? That's fine. Don't need any more than that. Alright, just drop it down. Get back here a little bit like that. Some out like that. And boom, voila. Yeah, I've done a painting section where it's just dirt. Now will be where our sheds and our silo's gonna set up. But we'll get this shed and the silo are gonna have to, it's gonna take a little bit of require a little bit of money, which we don't have. So we'll get the rest of the field plowed up, and we did some painting on this episode, and then we'll get the field plowed up here, and we'll I think end the recording after that, and we'll bring the seeder over off screen, I think, and then in the next episode we'll have to find the I'm gonna find another contract, I think. But I do want to make the seeding contract, or I do want to get the seeding one. Maybe, well, actually, you know what I might do? I might find a contract and do it off screen where I make a little bit of money, so I don't bore you with the contracts, unless they're really exciting contracts. I mean, I like the baling contracts. I do them on screen. I do the harvesting contracts on screen. I might do a planting contract on screen. But I feel like anything that requires plowing or anything that's basically a plowing contract, I don't think I'm going to do that on screen as a recording. But any other contract like the plowing or the baling, the harvesting, the seeding, some transport contracts, that kind of stuff, I would maybe consider doing on screen. So in the next episode, we'll do some seeding, and then we'll do some and then on the episode after that, maybe we'll find us another contract that we can do on screen. Bring you guys in for the ride. I cannot see where this tractor is. Right here. Okay. Yeah, I gotta start working for Uncle Ben. Or Ben. On his farm. I'm gonna finish up this row in the recording. Take care of that little piece without. All right, I think think we're good. We're gonna end the recording here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, leave a like, drop a comment, get subscribed to the channel if you're new, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.